this starting to feel like home for you now that it's been a few years?
I think it's felt like home for a while now, and I think home has been less defined by the space and more the people. I think were it not for the Trump presidency, it may have taken me a lot longer to feel like this was home.
And in the first few months of the Trump presidency, I know your writers and you all were scrambling to redo the show at the last minute. Is that still happening 16 months in?
Yes, but we don't scramble anymore. Now we expect it.
Now you plan for it.
Right, so now we plan for the unplannable. We wait for the moment when Wolf Blitzer goes, breaking news! We're waiting for that moment because it happens almost every single day. It's the 5:30 curse, we call it.
The 5:30 curse?
Yes, the 5:30 curse. Around 5:30 every single day, that's when the news will break.
The news about Michael Cohen getting payments from companies, it did break between 5 and 6 p.m. this
Right.
week. You said Cohen's literally selling swamp tours.
Right.
Did it surprise you?
No, it didn't. I said from the very beginning that Donald Trump reminds me of an African dictator. And if you know anything about African dictators, the first thing you have to do is follow the money. And you follow the money with the people closest to them. Family members, business associates, all you do is watch for the money. And I would have been disappointed had we not found out, or had Michael Cohen not done this. I'm like, yeah, this is following the script. This is what you were meant to be doing as the person who rolls with Donald Trump. You were always going to be finding a way to swindle cash. And now the question really that remains is, did Trump know? And did these companies really not get anything? Because I feel like that's a quick way for the story to just disappear. Yeah, we paid and we didn't get anything. Let's move along, let's move on.
When you say follow the money, you sound just like a journalist. It sounds like you bring that idea to this.
Well, I think you, as a person who processes information in the world, good journalists help you think of how to process a story. I think as a critical thinker, you should be able to do these things beyond journalism. You know, I think we should be trying to build a population of people that are looking at information, that are reading into information, people who are asking questions that go beyond what they're just told.
And where do you see your show fitting into that?
Well, it's always evolved, you know. When I started The Daily Show, I thought our purpose was just to make jokes about what was happening, because that's what the world felt like. It was a benign existence under Barack Obama. I think as the world comes to change, our purpose in that world changes. And I think that happens not just because of The Daily Show, but because of how comedy changes in society depending on what is happening to that society. So when society is experiencing a boon, or if it is a wonderful time for people to be alive and there's not much strife, I generally find the comedy will be benign, and it will be, you know, observational and you know, really light in its touch. As things become scarier, as the world becomes less secure, as people question the security that they exist within, that's when comedy becomes more cutting, because in many ways it's the release valve to that fear or to that tension.
You have some of the same challenges that I have. There might be a dozen stories in a day about Trump or about politics. How do you go about deciding which are worthy of talking about?
Well, I break it down into categories. I go, what's newsworthy? What is interesting, what is entertaining, and what is original. Because I'm going to be on The Daily Show every single day of the week, 4 nights a week. It's nice to vary my material. It's nice to switch things up. I don't want my audience to tune in every day and feel like they're hearing the exact same story. And so, you know, as much as I can do, I don't talk about Trump. You know, he makes it extremely difficult, as you know, because he, and I've heard from many people that he purposefully wants to be in the news. So it's difficult to avoid that when the person is the president of the United States.
I think we've had this debate privately. Maybe we should have it publicly. You think Trump will be reelected if he decides to run, right? You think he's going to be with us for a long time?
I think people underestimate how laser-focused Trump and his supporters are. I think people also underestimate how many people in America are willing to accept the adverse effects of Donald Trump as they pertain to the general discourse in America versus the economy and how people actually feel in their daily lives. So it goes back to, you know, what Joe Biden was talking about, where he was saying affected versus offended. And that's what's happened with a lot of Americans. There are many people who go, I'm offended by Donald Trump, but I'm not actually affected by him. I think too many people take for granted the ability Democrats have to step in their own way and trip themselves at the finish line. I don't take any of that for granted.
All right, really hard last question. Do you have a favorite joke? about the president?
I think my favorite joke that encapsulates how I observe and process the Donald Trump presidency is this. I say, I wake up most days terrified at the notion that Donald Trump is the most powerful president in the world. I also wake up most days acknowledging that he's also going to make me laugh. And that's what's difficult for me, is that he's an emotional paradox. And I've come to realize it's like this. I think it's almost like there's an asteroid headed towards the Earth, but it's shaped like a penis. I think I'm going to die, but I know I'm going to laugh.
You're going to die laughing?
Could be both.
If you want to hear more from Noah, we're sharing the entire interview on our podcast. So you can look it up through Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
And a local. Wow, excuse me, I could not stop that.
New NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine took the oath of office.
No.
Anyway, they also say bad bacteria can get into those cracks, and good bacteria often gets washed away.
But what about other cracks that need to be? I'm just saying, especially if you work out, like, you gotta get yourself clean.
Police say that she walked into the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. An incident report says that Wall walked behind the counter. She pulled down her pants and showed her backside. Can't make this stuff up, folks. I'm sorry. I tell you what, if you want to read more about that full story, you want to get to the bottom of it, go on.
As well as Paul Rust from the hit Netflix series. I gotta see this guy again. The guy with the nunchuck, he falls and he gets up, still trying.
I'm going to have to jump into the water, actually. I'm going to be very careful because I've got this sound pack on. But Sarah Vasey, Adam Peaty, Siobhan Marie O'Connor, Ben Proud and James Guy, congratulations. Oh, I didn't see the step. Sorry about that. Well, that's giving you all a good laugh. Adam's inconsolable there. Just look before you're getting in a swim pool in future, OK? I hope you can still hear me. I'm going to have to get rather close and mind the step. Can you continue, Sarah? Because we want to talk about your goal. You don't want to talk about me falling in the water. But all the people watching here are literally on the floor.
Now, the police officer was trying to pull his fool over when he got out of the car and started to run. Well, he didn't get very far. I wonder if the car gets like an assist. You know what I mean?
For the takedown, for the takeout. Like, you shouldn't have been driving me anyway. I told you. Put the keys down.
Shouldn't have been driving me anyway.
All right.
Brandon.
Let's get over to Brandon. I'm trying to make people laugh who are dealing with all this snow this morning.
I looked in the rearview mirror and I saw two of me. It was the other me driving. It hit me.
This specific type of monkey, which I believe is called a mycock.
Not what you said. Why do I have to go right now?
I need help.
Oh, forecast first. It's not what you said. Rewind the tape. Oh my God. Coffee. Oh, it is. I can't do this. A little bit of snow on the grass. It is breezy. Oh, why me? Why was I after that? Oh, coffee, you're killing me.
Into northern Kentucky, we are seeing some dry slots.
The top allergens right now are ash, alder, as well as birch.
Clouds will continue to clear and well, I guess I'm done. They're wrapping me up. So we'll talk more about the next chance for rain, which is Easter Sunday. And we'll have that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
The low temperature tonight, definitely not going to be 90 degrees. Wow, that would be a good trick, wouldn't it? 90 tonight. No, friends, it's going to be 30 tonight. The chance for precipitation will be 90%. If it's 90 tonight, you should really give me a call. If it's snowing in 90, just reach out. Call us in the weather office. We'd love to hear from you.
And that's where we had some hail reports. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a
few of these pictures. Dang this iPad. You know what we're going to do? It's not going to beat me today. Wait. Hold on. No. It is going to beat me today. Anyway.
I think it's going to be fine.
Good.
You know, it'll be fine.
All right.
Could be worse. Yep. Has been worse. Well, because you guys are dragging me down. You guys keep. Well, every time I get done with the 7-day, you guys are like, oh, gosh. Oh. Every time. Doesn't matter what time I come on. 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and then you expect me to be chipper for 5 straight hours. It's miserable. I want you guys to say, wow, that's great news. It's going to be 60 on Friday. Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? Lie to you? I'll put 70 every day next time. God.
Thank you for your community.
Man, thank you. Mr. Davis appreciates it. He knows when to bundle up.
Yep.
Here's some wind. Here's some temperature, 20s. Feels like 19 or feels like 70. I don't know. 47, partly cloudy. Southwest breeze 10 to 15. Here's a 60. I don't know if that's good enough for you guys. Get excited. Maybe I'll disappoint you with the 7-day here in a few minutes.
Ooh. Is he done? That was terrifying. The internet would put it this way. That was terrifying.
And let's take a look at Sarah.
Whoa, Sarah, run.
Scampering
Run,
across
Sarah,
the traffic
run.
shot. Run, Sarah, run.
Run. She's very
In
busy.
heels,
She has a
nonetheless.
lot to do.
S-a pregătit de Crăciun? Scufița roșie. S-a rătăcit prin zăpadă. Bună dimineața, Roxana, cum stăm cu vremea?
Bună dimineața, dragilor! 0.33 como máxima. León también. Qué interesados están en el clima.
¡Qué calor!
Yo. Bueno.
Di que sí, mi
Yo voy a
niña, ese
entrenarme.
pelirrojo es una belleza.
Yo voy a entrenar primero que nada.
Pero tú tienes cuerpo para meterte en el jacuzzi.
Bueno, déjame recorrer 6 millas más y luego entonces digo que...
Faisal, tell us, how bad could this week be for her, if you can hear me? Can't see you, that's for sure. We're going to try and speak to Faisal. He's in Portcullis House rather than our studios. Don't want to empty chair him.
By his lawyers, he had already, excuse me, sorry, just some cars have had a bit of a crash behind us there. I mean, such is the media crowd there. It has been very busy here today.
From the players on the court to the fans in the bleachers.
So we've had so much a good time and we had so much support. Oh, sorry.
I almost got kissed. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
So tell us what you were doing and what you saw.
I was sitting at home and I was playing Fortnite, and all of a sudden I just hear a bunch of noise, and I look out the window and I start seeing the roof come off the houses in front of me. But then I sit back down because I only got like a couple people left in my gang. I was gonna try to finish the game.
And what's going through your mind as you said you're in the bathroom with your sister and nephew?
I'm like, honestly, I was just thinking about the game.
John Dickerson returns, so stay with us.
New at 6, Toledo Lucas County Democrats used a big duck trying to, sorry about that.
Okay, don't move. No. I don't know what it is. What is it? Moran, there's something over here. No. Moran.
Keine Sicherheit darüber, dass es hier auch zu einem Regierungswechsel kommt. Denn das Wahlrecht in Ungarn ist so gestaltet, dass es Orbáns Fidesz-Partei bevorzugt. Das heißt, er kann sogar mit einer Stimmenminderheit, die hier sehr wahrscheinlich ist.
Pure puppy. He's about a 6 to 7 month old schnauzer mixed puppy. He sees himself in the camera now, so he's very excited about that. But he's almost full grown. He's a wonderful dog. Very vocal. He can see himself in the.
Yes, he's barking because he can see himself, and sometimes it's frightening. Hey,
Live TV, folks.
What kind of home are you looking for him?
He loves to go for long walks and play with other dogs and everything. So He just doesn't like seeing his own picture on TV. So.
But just proportionately larger. Now, believe it or not, this is actually a juvenile snake. This is about 3 years of age. Bit of it on your lap or anything like that. Just have a little feel.
Maybe just start? No, maybe just start.
Just
if you
like
could.
that.
A little bit of, just keep the snake away from us.
That's
just a little
the
bit.
Tail. You could put it across your shoulders and it certainly won't hurt you at all. If you'd like, I'll help you a little bit. So, well, if you just lean forward just a little bit.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that.
Pop you there. Now that's pretty much it. That's the whole thing.
I reckon just keep the head away.
Yeah, we'll keep the head away. So
yeah.
That's actually that's the whole experience. That is the snake around
what
the neck.
What about this lady here?
Yeah.
Join us tomorrow when I overcome my fears of a stiff breeze. It's going to be very, very good TV.
Like, why is this fun? Why is this something that people do for fun? We're still going. My awesome photog Chato's right next to me. Alfred keeps saying, oh no, oh no, oh no. And he's ridden this before, so I don't know why he keeps saying this. I really don't. Do you see my hands? They're shaking. Oh, I don't know where the camera angle is here. Ooh. How was it, Alfred? Speak loud.
It was great.
You get the tax break if you marry to yourself. This pointy rock specifically, a little bit suspicious. Take 8 double stuffed Oreos and put them in a glass, fill it up with milk, and eat it with a spoon.
Okay.
They usually were referred to as an embarrassment of a news team. Push the envelope with these gyrations.
Yeah.
America wasn't ready. Eileen asked for peace on Earth. I asked for a new couch. Fortunately, guys, we're going to have to return that Coin 6 yacht that we bought.
You need that Price is Right bump bump.
Ken and I have matching tattoos.
Do you?
Yeah, we got News Bros on our
News
biceps.
Bros. Oh, yeah,
That
right,
goes without
right.
saying.
Yes, okay.
I'm just I'll wait for Trevor.
Okay.
You know, Jane Austen, What Are Men to Rocks and Mountains, things like that. I love my Doritos so loud.
Right.
Residue all over my fingers.
Pretty consistent speed, even as it approaches. Actually, that car just blew through a stop sign there.
Except Ken Body.
Wow.
Always got a
Wow.
fat wad. Oh, a movie. I have space out the window. I have many, many questions. But I also don't really want to talk to anyone. Kind of ghosted my way in there. I was thinking about 98 Degrees and how I know that was your favorite boy band. To quote a guy we just heard, I don't like it. I, for one, am very emotional about my coffee cup designs.
Yes.
Oh, are you now? No, I'm not. I think that's really dumb. Some poor soul's alarm clock went off at 6:15. Time for my favorite morning news team. And then puzzling.
Not on board.
What are you hiding,
this
China?
point. That's right.
This is an example of that one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Pretty much.
Thing where I'm the trash. If you could pass that along to the Queen, tell her that I'm upset. Important message is that a lot of people are texting me. That's the takeaway.
That is the takeaway.
Running is the worst, but friendship and teamwork is the best. I do need to ask my apartment building if I would be safe from a nuclear fallout. I am still a bad boy, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Totally.